Now, as you can see, slipping it behind here is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to show you there's a creative little way, just because we can see it, of sneaking a piece in there, and we're going to do it in 2 pieces. So welcome back to another episode, and I guess you're wondering why I gathered you all here. So I have to go up and investigate how this pipe is leaking. So it's probably a simple fix, but I gotta head up there, have a look. And while I'm here, I'm also reminded I got this giant pile of lumber that I have to address at some point. So that's not today though. So I'm gonna set up the ladder, hop on the roof, and we'll have a quick look. So we're at the roof vent here, and I'm looking at it. There's a couple of reasons it might be leaking. It wasn't a substantial leak, so both of these are probable. So I can feel this rubber, the boot, is a little bit degraded, but it doesn't feel like it's absolutely terrible. Does feel like it has a little bit of stick, but it's definitely older. But the other culprit I'm looking at, in a driving rain, like we had the other day, and this might be why I didn't notice it before, because it'll only happen if we get like a high wind and rain, and you know, a combination of factors that allow it to happen. But this this boot is not mounted. So if I put the camera down here, you can see it doesn't really have that far to go to reach the hole. It's just back here where my finger is. So this vent might not even be staying here. I don't know exactly what the plans are. So I don't want to go crazy doing major repairs. So all I'm going to do for right now is stabilize it. So I'm going to do a couple things just to make sure it's you know, adequate until we know exactly what's going on. And then if it is staying, I'll replace the boot. If not, I'll just be patching over some new shingles and putting a vent somewhere else. But yeah, this isn't a problem. The shingles themselves around it are just fine. This is maybe cut a little bit tight up here. You don't really want that. But that shouldn't be causing the issues we're looking at. Because, yeah, I'm not seeing anything there that would cause it. But, yeah, the boot seems fine. It's not really the issue, and it wouldn't allow quite that much water. But yeah, if the wind was coming in, say, from this angle, it could push water underneath here, and that hole goes to about here. So I could see how that would cause it. And when I got up here, I know I was flipping it up a little bit and it's a little bent out of shape, but it was sitting up kind of like this as it was. So I'm not really shocked by this at all. This is very simple, no problem. And what's supposed to happen is just, you know, a nail either side, one in the middle, up far enough, and caulk over the nails with the right sealant. But before I do it, just because it is kind of sticking up, I'm going to throw a dab of caulking underneath all the way around, and then I'm going to nail it down, and that'll keep it sealed underneath where it matters most. So I'll get that done right now, and then we'll hop back inside. And just in case, just throw a little bead around here. And just like that, it should be weather tight again. So I think next I'm going to tackle this bathroom wall. So there's a few things that have to happen here. First of all, we have the shower head coming up through here and a drain underneath. So I have to remove this tub, and I got to cut a hole here to accommodate the drain that's going to be going in there. And what I also have to do is reframe this because we have a shower head coming in. This is too close to center, this stud, so that has to be removed. And then what we typically want when we frame in for a shower is from center of the tub, we want a 12-inch gap here between studs, roughly 12 inches going up, and that's going to allow our shower diverter and shower head up here. So up here, the shower head, the standard is 76 inches up, and we're going to have a piece in the flat to support that. And then about 50 inches up from the floor over here, we're going to have another piece in the flat, and that's going to accommodate the shower diverter. So this plumbing stack is fine just where it is, but this drain is going to move, and this electrical, obviously, that can't stay there. So we're going to get a little creative eliminating that, because this is, from everything I could see, this is a perfectly good line, and it runs in, takes a corner, out to another plug. That is a tremendous amount of work to try and replace for a line that's probably just fine. This is an exterior grade line. There's nothing wrong with it. But we're going to eliminate probably everything afterwards because the outlet that's going to be used for the bathroom to support modern code, it has to be a dedicated line running straight to the breaker panel to support 20 amps. And that can't join into any other rooms. It can join into other bathrooms, but it's not allowed to join into other outlets and things like that. So we're going to get that in, and we're going to rearrange all this electrical to reaccommodate what's going on. This plumbing here has got to change, so all this basically has to move here. And then over here, we're going to have the water coming in for the toilet. So I got a lot of work here. I'm going to remove this drywall, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a stud that way. I don't want to have to mud a corner unnecessarily, so I'm going to pick a stud over here, and I'm going to probably eliminate this while I'm at it, just because we're already getting into most of a sheet. So 48 inches up is going to bring us to about here, and it'll be the least amount of mudding and the cleanest look by the time we're done. Just resheeting this, and we need a good amount of access to this wall. So I'm going to get the tub out of the way, and we're going to get this wall done, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so now that we've got this all exposed, we can see exactly what's going on. So this line here was originally going to the switch. So this is just dead in the wall as it is, so I'm just going to clip it off over there, and that'll be eliminated. This wall here running up is this one here. So I'll be able to eliminate that right now. There's probably just a staple or something right around here. I can reach up and remove that and have that whole line pulled out. And this of course goes to this outlet which we're removing. So what I want to do is this black line is what I want to save. This is the most important one. So what I'm going to do, because you can't have junction boxes covered behind a wall. So I'm going to add an outlet into the bedroom on the other side. I'm going to have this fed into it and then go to this outlet here, which I might push over just a little bit just because they're very close together as it is. It doesn't make a huge amount of sense. So I'll probably push that one over to the opposite side of the wall. And then we're just going to leave it as boxes for right now because we have some framing to do. I have to get a new piece tucked under here to support this drywall, and I have to have that extend all the way down. I got to get this removed, and this line here I just measured out. I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. This is already tapped into the cold line, and it's in a great position as it is for the toilet, and I've already had all the water running to it. It's now cut off further back, but because I had water running to it, I already know it's not leaking. I don't see any stains in the ground, nothing to speak of. So I'm going to cut it down so I can just plumb it straight out, and that'll be for the toilet. And then I just have to worry about eliminating this and moving this plumbing over here. And then of course we have to reframe this. So we're going to take care of all the framing first. I'm going to do this bit, and then I got to pull the tub back. Now we don't have enough room to turn the tub. So it's not a big deal. It is slightly inconvenient, but we're better to have it in place right now than to try and get it into place after the fact. This thing is incredibly heavy, and they're very awkward to move in. So the fact that it's already in here is a huge benefit, and the only reason I was able to do that as easily as I did is when I did it, I didn't have this wall behind me framed in yet. So now that it is, I don't have room to turn it, I don't have room to tilt it. All I can really do, especially by myself, is move it back and forth. So I'm going to be shuffling it around here and there, but that's going to be fine. I've only really got to get behind it once, and then once it's in place, I can just leave it there for the duration of the project, and that's where it goes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by simplifying all this wiring, getting that stripped down, and then I'll strip down the plumbing, and then we're going to get everything framed in on this side, move the tub out, and then I'm going to frame in over here. So let's get that done. And we're gonna head downstairs now, take care of the next one. So I know it's kind of dark down here, but this is the line here that's going up that we want to eliminate for the hot water. So obviously this is a hard reach. You saw what I went through on the upper one there, but it did work out just fine. I got to clean the end a little bit to get a nice solder joint on there. But this plumbing here and all this back here, this is getting rearranged and eliminated anyway. But additionally, where I actually want that line to stop is right around here, I believe. I'm going to measure it out. but I'm going to need a T around there anyway for the new sink faucet. So I'm going to take this all back to there because it's from there that it's all getting reworked. So I'm going to cut it off there, get this all cleaned up and good to go, and we'll be able to nip it off. Actually, I can cut it all from down here and just pull it out at the top. Probably going to be some old nasty water that spills out from this too, we'll see. I know it's been trapped in there over the years. I never ran this line. Let's head back up. All right, let's get this framed back up. All right, so the plumbing's out, and now we just have, well, there's actually not a whole lot of framing to do here. We just got to put in a little stud over here. Make sure we can fasten this down. Now, as you can see, slipping it behind here is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to show you, there's a creative little way, just because we can see it, of sneaking a piece in there. And we're going to do it in 2 pieces. So I'm going to measure out this span from the pipe up, and I'm going to cut it in half. We're going to have 2 pieces. Otherwise, trying to worm that in from underneath, it's just not going to happen. And then a little piece at the bottom. And that way we'll be able to have our substrate over around the shower, stop where we want it, about 3 inches past the tub, and we'll be able to carry the drywall straight down. And this will be one single piece, and it'll be a lot less work and much cleaner than the patching I was looking at before. Plus I had to get behind this wall anyway. So let's get that done. I just got to cut these pieces out, and I'll show you what we're doing for that. All right, so I got some pieces cut out. I'll just show you. So I want to slip this up in here. All right. So what I'm going to do that, I'm going to pop a screw right in the corner here. Do one there. Just enough to hold it. Then one right here. And then I'm just going to get a screw started right there. Now, this is why I cut it in half. You'll see down here at the drain line, it's holding it back as it is. So there wasn't too much hope of getting anything bigger in. That's right. Just going to pull that back a little bit, very gently. There we go. And now I can grab it by the screw that I put in and just slide it up. Now I got something to hold it by. Just pop that. Take this one out. That bit's getting a little dull. There we go, we got a nice drywall background, just like that. Now this lower one. Alright, that'll hold up the drywall. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, it's not very hot out today. It's relatively mild for, you know, an August day. So it's not too bad, but it is still extremely humid. Now, I had one of these sent in from a viewer. I'm going to give it a whirl. I think today's the perfect day to try it out. I charged it up. Did I? I got to charge it up first. I guess not. I'm going to stick it on the charger and we'll give it a shot later. In the meantime, I got another fan set up because, yeah, I'm sweating like crazy already. So now we're going to put in the electrical boxes. I hope there's enough room here. We'll see. Ooh. I want to put that up a bit. It'll work. Just barely. Okay. I'm gonna try this again for you, Ray. Don't put this in the bloopers. I know you. I'll let everybody see. How's that? Alright, so now it's time to do the electrical boxes. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one over here. We'll deal with that in a second, but for right now, let's measure this out and see if we have enough room under this plumbing, and I'm hopeful. And we have just enough room, but I have to put this up, so I'm going to put it tight to this, and we'll be able to squeeze that in. That one will be fastened from the other side. And then for this one here, I'm thinking, because I already have plumbing in here, I'm actually going to put it beside on this side of the stud, which won't be a big deal because once I drill a hole, it'll be real easy to just fish that down a little bit. I am going to keep the electrical a little bit above over here. That way it's out of the way of any of the plumbing we're doing. It's kind of annoying when you got snaking around plumbing, and I don't even know that you can really do that. So I'm trying to avoid having my water lines in the same runs as electrical. So that's what we'll do there. Alright, we're on the other side of the wall here. Let's just see where we are to the stud. Sure. Alright, so this is in, but I'm actually not going to leave it in there. I'm just going to set it aside. First of all, I got to run the new line through before I pop that in. But what it's also going to do is this cavity is where I'm going to put the bathroom outlet. So what this hole is going to allow me to do is drilling through the basement. It's going to make it easy to fish the line through. Gives me another point to grab it at, and I'll be able to run that line up to about this point here, where the outlet's going to be on the other side of the wall with the bathroom. So I didn't open this cavity up, but around here is where I'm going to put the outlets. So I'm going to open that up, and it'll be real easy at that point to, I don't even need fish tape or anything. I'll be able to just poke the line through and reach it up. So that's what we're doing there. So the door is now in here, and this door will be replacing this door. And I'll be doing that sooner than later, because one of the things I have to focus on very soon is sealing this place up. So I have a lot of air gaps and things like that around. I have to make sure it's relatively airtight. Obviously we want the house to breathe, but we don't want drafts, and we don't want any penetrations that would allow mice or other pests through. So as I get the doors, I'll be able to close those off for the most part. We have this one here, which is, this one, of all the exterior doors, this was probably in the best shape. And if I don't, it's perfectly finishable as it is. There's actually very little damage. We'll see. If I don't come up with a better option, I may use this for a garage door. I don't want it for anything super nice and finished, but it's not bad as it is. What is that? Oh. Maybe not. It looks like you did some funny stuff to it. Regardless, yeah, this door's coming out. This is going to be a larger door when we're done, and the garage door has to be addressed as well. That's all part of getting the place properly sealed up. But let's get back to what we were working on. So over here, I'm now ready to pull this tub back, and once the tub is pulled back, I'm going to get the framing done along this wall here, and get my cutout done for the drain, and I might get some cutouts and a little bit of work done right now for the shower water lines. I don't have the shower diverter yet, so I can't go too far and too crazy with that, but I'm going to get everything ready to go for it. So let's get to it. Alright, so now let's head into the basement. We're going to run that wire up to that outlet, and then by the time we get that up there, we're probably going to be done in the bathroom until we're ready for the plumbing. So let's get her done. Should be the right spot, just to find out. So I'm hoping I measured this out right, in which case, should be. Oh, there it is. So, can't see what I'm doing, but I'm actually feeding it straight up. Let's see if we can catch it on the other side. Well, it found its way to the wrong hole. Means we got way more than enough. Anchor that, and that's too much. Actually, I am gonna leave a little extra because it's a 2-gang outlet. Having this extra is going to be handy because I'm going to cut it off about there, and the rest of this I'm going to use to daisy chain over to the next outlet. So I'll leave that just the way it is. So let's head back down. Alright, so everything's good. I'm going to go ahead, staple it off, and it's just going to get marked and wait for the next panel.